All right, we will go ahead and call March 19th, Becker City Council to order. If you'll rise for the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Has council had a chance to look over the meeting minutes from March 5th? If so, I'll ask for a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Troy. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Any additional items for this evening's agenda? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion from Rick, second from Todd. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Guests in open forum. So we'll allow up to 5 guests to speak for 3 minutes each, and this is the open forum piece, not if you're here for the Jetstream/Google, you can talk a little bit later. Anyone for the open forum? All right. Moving on to the committee reports. EDA.
EDA, we met last Monday, and our main topic of discussion is our item we're going to have the public hearing on tonight, which is the Jetstream data center. So that was our main topic.
Fire board.
Fire board, we had last night, we reviewed the financials and they're on track and looking good. And that was pretty much the extent of it.
Park and Rec.
We met on Monday. We started by talking about the HKGI update that was last Thursday at the Becker Community Center. They want to let everybody in the community know that if you go on the Becker Community Center website, there's a survey on there, and they should have all the updates of what they want to do with the parks in the future. One of the big concerns is the water slide. They're having some architectural engineers look at it. In the next 10 years, it's probably going to have to be replaced, but they think that they can get it fixed one more time, and that should last 8 to 10 more years. The ice rink is closed with the weather. We had a great, they got some skates late in the year. The rental part of it for the ice skates was a good success this year, so really looking forward to next year when we can open it up earlier and get everybody in them brand new skates they bought. And that was about it.
Personnel, we met last week, and both of our items are on this evening's agenda, in the consent agenda. It was the hiring of the deputy clerk, and then also the police sergeant's job description, the change of the title from sergeant to lieutenant, and I believe that came through police first, and then personnel okayed that. So it's on tonight. Any reports other than those listed?
Golf committee, we had that last night.
Okay.
That was moved back a little bit, but basically we looked at the budget. We're hitting our numbers. Actually, February turned about a 5,000 estimated profit, so it's tracking really well. This past weekend was extremely busy, something that I haven't seen in a long time. So I think the upgrade in the food and service has been a huge success. We discussed the brand refresh. That's going to be really rolled out for the open house on March 30th, which is 10 to 3, along with a new menu. They've done a lot of needed things that have been pushed back, like safety issues, the high top bar stools and stuff like that. In the kitchen, they've increased the workflow by streamlining some things and moving some things around. The HVAC that they've been installing is about 85% done, and they're definitely on budget there. And the other thing is they posted for the food and bev manager. So, and they've been getting a lot of action on that. So a lot of applicants. That's pretty much it. Did I miss anything, Troy?
No, that summed it up. Well, they're gonna be getting a shed, so that's gonna give them more space. They're gonna move some chairs outside, so it's not be so cluttery around there. Like right now, they have a bunch of chairs that are taking up a lot of space, so they're gonna just keep working on the building, fixing some speakers. I think they're gonna get some estimates on that, so.
All right, we will head into public hearings. Tax abatement request for Jetstream Data Center. Ms. Flipson.
So unfortunately, our computer didn't work, so we do have the slides printed to use with the doc screen.
Very old school.
All right, so tonight before you is the Jetstream LLC abatement request. And this is the public hearing for that. So when we discuss the city's economic development efforts, we like to put it in the context of other local events that we have taking place. The city of Becker has a strong focus on economic development efforts, especially with the Sherco decommissioning. Especially with the Sherco decommissioning. In 2023 and 2026, we'll lose about 150 direct and then 250 indirect and reduced jobs. And this is about $200 million annually that we will be losing to our region. And because of this change, we have been collaborating with multiple partners, including Excel and Sherburne County, to expand our business park, to attract new businesses and capital investment. So with this, we have been working with Google for the last 2 years. And so before you, they have applied for the tax abatement. This project is proposed to be 375,000 square feet, and it would be an estimated $600 million in investment, and this is split almost 50-50 between construction costs for the building and then equipment purchases. So with that construction of the $300 million building, it's about a 2,200 direct job impact over about 2 years of the construction phase. Once the facility is up and operating, it would be about 50 full-time employees, and then that aggregate payroll would be about $4 million or more.
Would you mind using my mic? Yours is not working.
We'll hold it. All right. It might be a little bit harder to see on the screen, but these are the parcels that have been identified for the tax abatement. For some context, Snuffy's Landing is down on the south side, and County Road 53 would be on the western side, and County Road 8 would be on the northern side. When we look at project benefits, this one definitely hits a lot of the marks that we're looking for. So with this project, it'll be the catalyst in expanding the business park. So we'll be looking at road, water, sewer, and fiber infrastructure expansions. And the project, when we start talking about marketing to different site selectors, like next week we'll be going to the Guild, it really raises the awareness of Becker and Sherburne County when we start talking about those larger projects. And when we've looked and done case studies on other areas where Google has located, we've seen other companies have followed. So we hope that it is also the same here for the Becker location. And then the project will pay about $300,000 at current rates for the school district, so they are not abating any of the school district taxes. And then when you look at referendums, the company would still be paying any taxes that would be going towards referendums. The last bullet point, site can accommodate additional facilities. I'll actually touch base on that on this slide. So we know at this time there's only one phase proposed. However, the property is large enough to accommodate more. There's multiple reasons that we're not guaranteed any other facilities. It comes to any other economics of it. If they do propose to build second facilities, we do break down what that annual abatement would be. So it would increase from $312,000 ultimately up to around $740,000. With one phase, the 20 years equates to about $6.2 million. So one of the questions that we have received is this 100% abatement? And it's not. So when you look at a tax statement, let's see here. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. The center section is the taxes by jurisdiction. So there's multiple lines. The green box is the city portion. The applicant has also applied to the county, so I do have that highlighted in yellow. But there's multiple jurisdictions that they're still paying to, and this is only the new increase on the property taxes. So when you look at a property, for example, everything that's being paid now, that base, that will still be paid in. We've done some analysis also. Sorry, guys. We've done some analysis on the economic impact of this. So for the construction phase, there's the direct impact of about those 2,300 jobs that'll be used for construction. And then when you look at that regionally, that total effect is about 3,200 jobs. So there is a great increase to our regional economy. For those 50 jobs upon completion, that actually translates to 110 jobs locally. With our abatement, we do a point system, so we have it broken down. This project scores 25, and then on the next slide, I do have how that falls within the moderate score. However, we do allow deviations, and this one will definitely help us construct those public facilities, the water, the sewer, or other public infrastructure out in the industrial park. Otherwise, tonight is just for informational and public testimony, and I do have Jeff Rossade here to go over some of the other economic impact. Otherwise, I can take questions right too if there's anything immediate on this.
Does council have any questions for Marie before we move into the public hearing?
Then I'll turn it over to Jeff actually with economic impact. All right, so I'll let you.
I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:12.
Haven't seen one of these since junior high, I think. Sorry. I'm Jeff Rossade. I'm the Executive Director of the Business Development Office for DEED, the State of Minnesota's Department of Employment and Economic Development. Mayor, Council, thank you very much for having me. So what I'm providing here today is just an update. This was actually an economic impact model that we initially conducted in October and has been slightly modified over the course of the last few months, just to give you some background on how this came about, what we used. First of all, IMPLAN is a software model. It's nationally recognized as a tool for economic impact. It does have a competitor model that you may have heard of called REMI in the past. This one is, frankly, a little bit more user-friendly and, again, is accepted in the marketplace. As Marie indicated, we based this on a $600 million investment with about, with $300 million of that in construction and $300 million in equipment. What is critical to understand here is throughout this model, we actually did not run it on the $300 million worth of equipment installation. We only did it on construction. And the reason for that is that we wanted this to be a conservative model moving forward, so all of the numbers would not represent something that couldn't be attainable, if you will. So as Marie indicated, we're looking at 50 new jobs, permanent employees, and a significant amount of construction. So in the initial phase of construction, we would be looking at, again, $300 million over the series of about 18 to 24 months. Obviously, that is dependent on construction season, the ability to get in the ground, the soil types, everything that goes into a complex construction season, but we figured 18 to 24 months for this phase. Also, as Marie indicated, there are some outputs to this, specifically to Sherburne County. Really the key points here are the direct effect jobs from construction, which would be 2,300 jobs, and then the indirect and tertiary jobs really account to about 3,000 jobs. And this is consistent with what we have identified and seen in other locations that, that Google has constructed throughout the United States. In fact, they did a master study that anyone can actually find on the internet utilizing this same software as well, and in those multiple states we actually fall right in the middle in terms of the multiplier, so we're well situated for that. And again, this is just a summary of those points. From a statewide perspective, we also run this to see kind of what those impacts would be outside of Sherburne County. And as you can imagine, a majority of what occurs and the value that occurs to the state really is within the county itself. So this is the spillover effect. So this is going to impact areas such as the Twin Cities, the St. Cloud region, and really probably more like about a 100-mile radius outside. It really doesn't have what we call full statewide impact, but we actually run it on that model. And so what that's showing is that there are some additional jobs that occur. So you go from basically 3,100 to about 3,800 total jobs, direct, indirect, and induced. And then as indicated on the operational phase, we did that on 50 new jobs for this phase with roughly an estimated salary of about $80,000. And obviously we understand that's going to vary a little bit, but that's still a very nice salary on an average basis for those positions. And from an output perspective with that for those jobs, what you're looking at is a contribution of about $7.6 million to the local economy, $6.1 million in labor income, and again, those 110 direct, indirect, and tertiary or induced jobs. Again, these are the numbers just to support that as it moves forward. And again, the statewide impact, we use those same figures. And this then shows that from a statewide perspective, this moves to about $14.4 million in gross domestic product to the state, about $10 million in labor income, permanent labor income. And we actually use a lower number for that instead of the 80,000. There is a multiplier effect that actually brings that down to 64,000, kind of as those secondary and tertiary jobs, as opposed to the direct jobs on site. And that actually adds an additional 162 jobs. Or a total of 162. So roughly 110 additional in addition to those 50. So just a quick overview that this was done with the intent to have a conservative model with the goal that they would meet and or exceed what we've seen, and that aligns actually with what they have done in other locations as well. So from our perspective, it appears to be a good opportunity, not only for the community and the county, but also for the state. Thank you.
All right. We will go ahead and take anybody from the audience. Where did my Marie go? There you are. Marie, do you want to look at...
There are some people signed in. Do you want us to sign the sheet and then put down the list of the
Chief, who do we have on there first?
Todd? Yeah,
That's it. Okay.
I signed in, but I'm going to pass it.
All right. Thank you, Todd. Sure. It's so formal having you deliver this to the podium.
It's like in court.
Bailiff?
All right. Is it Leslie? All right. You're next. Is it Leslie Dingman? All right.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Leslie Dingman, and I'm here on behalf of the Greater St. Cloud Development Corporation.
No, but could you pull that mic over? They're very particular in the back room.
The GSDC's mission is to lead economic development efforts for our region, and this includes initiatives that benefit both Stearns, Benton, and Sherburne counties. We understand that Xcel Energy is planning to shut down 2 of the 3 coal units over the next 8 years, which will result in major job and tax-based losses. So this loss will not only affect the city and county, but we do, believe that this is going to affect the region as well. The GSDC supports the city and county as they start to proactively plan to transition away from a coal-based economy, and we do support their pursuit of the Google project. The benefits of this project are very noteworthy. The projected increase in the job, wages and taxes will be beneficial as the region recovers and also works to replace the loss of the 2 of the 3 units that will be shut down. But more importantly, we do believe that this project will be a catalyst. It will help attract other technology-based companies to our region, and that's really gonna, not just benefit the county and the city, but really the whole area as one. So I'm here tonight just to say our corporation is very excited to work in partnership with the county and the city and Xcel as you pursue this project.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Debbie Rydberg, you are next, if you wish. And then Matt Fairlick, you are next in line.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you tonight. My name is Debbie Rydberg, and I'm the Executive Director for the Elk River Area Chamber of Commerce. The primary purpose of the Elk River Chamber is to support and advocate for area businesses and all impacts those businesses in our service area face, including economic development and such opportunities. The Chamber applauds and continues to support the diligent efforts and good work of the City of Becker and Sherburne County to explore the opportunity to diversify the economy in advance of the decommissioning of the Sherco coal stations units 1 and 2. The resulting loss of tax base and the quality jobs associated with the Sherco operations will affect all of us. We join with many others and respectfully also offer our vote of support to partner with the Google Corporation to create a new data center within the footprint of your business park area. Not only would the proposed facility create the 50 new jobs that have been discussed, with a total payroll of $4 million a year, but the residual impact, both direct economic benefits as well as the potential of this project to attract additional tenants, represents the opportunity to have an even more diverse and robust economy for the city and our entire region. While the decision to consider the tax abatement is respected as a local one, we believe that this is a proven strategy to encourage major corporate investment based on the analysis that you just received from DEED, and suggesting that the financial and community benefits of securing this relationship far outweigh any of the risks or costs. This project will impact our entire region, and so even from Elk River, we certainly support and hope that this project comes through. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Matt, and then Ann, you are next on the list. You're good? Okay. And then it'll be Amanda.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. My name is Matt Verlick. I serve as president of the Initiative Foundation, and I'm pleased to be here tonight on behalf of our staff and board, including one member of our board who's here, David Monroe, a Sherburne County resident. And I'm pleased to share thoughts that I think are quite similar to what you've heard from our friends with the Chamber and the GSDC. I want to say thanks to all of you for your longstanding support of the Initiative Foundation. As I think you know, for 32 years, we've worked to support community and economic development across the 14 counties of central Minnesota, including this one. To achieve our mission of strengthening communities, we use a variety of tools, including some you would expect from a foundation, such as grants to nonprofits and local units of government, in addition to other tools that are somewhat less common for foundations, but no less valuable, such as gap lending for small businesses, as well as training and technical assistance for businesses and nonprofits, so that they're all better equipped to serve our region through their respective missions. So for the past 3 years, thanks in part to our longstanding partnership with the McKnight Foundation as well as the Just Transition Fund, we've had the chance to engage more intensively with the City of Becker and Sherburne County to advance their economic diversification efforts prior to the decommissioning of the 2 Sherco units. As you know very well, these efforts are important because of the loss of tax base and important jobs. So we consider it very fortunate that Xcel Energy has given significant lead time to the community to prepare for the closure, and also fortunate that local officials like you have taken advantage of this opportunity to be proactive and leverage your considerable local economic assets, such as the industrial park, the rail spur, and proximity to lots of critical infrastructure that can support future growth. So I'm pleased that our support of your economic diversification efforts have in recent times involved a number of grants, which you and other local leaders have then leveraged mightily for some truly impressive results already. For example, the Initiative Foundation contributed $14,000 toward completion of the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, or CEDS, that was approved by the US EPA, and hence opens the door to additional federal resources. We granted $20,000 towards a feasibility study by the city for transportation improvements at the industrial park, and $40,000 to the county for analysis of rail impacts and opportunities. So collectively, these analyses help then to establish a need and an opportunity for over $2.8 million in grants from other sources, as well as $3.3 million in bonding from the state legislature, as well as commitments from Northern Metals to establish operations within the industrial park. So consistent with all of that work that's already been done, I'm here today to express support for your efforts to partner with Google on the data center. I think we're all working from the same statistics, but the fact of the 50 permanent jobs, in addition to all the construction phase jobs, the $4 million in payroll, et cetera, and all the follow-on benefits obviously are significant. The The decision to consider tax abatement is indeed local and up to you as the elected officials, but I'll acknowledge again that this is a proven strategy to attract significant investment, and the analysis from DEED further supports that the view that the risks are certainly outweighed by the benefits in this instance. So I'll just conclude by stating that the Initiative Foundation remains committed to walking beside key partners like you as you continue with community engagement, planning, and project implementation, and we're optimistic that your vision for the community will help strengthen your position as an economic hub for the region and the whole state. So thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Amanda.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for having me. I'm Amanda Taylor. I'm with Greater MSP. We're the Regional Economic Development Partnership for Minneapolis-St. Paul. We share in the excitement, as everyone that you've heard from tonight, about this project and what it could mean for the city of Becker, for Sherburne County, and for our region. The execution towards this, to enable this project to happen, is just a significant opportunity for us all, and we're just so thrilled that the potential is there. This has been a multi-year project. Greater MSP has been involved with partners like Excel and DEED from the very beginning, and it's a multi-step process. It represents a great example of how partnerships work and how we hope to support our city and county partners in the region. As you've heard, the economic impact of this project is significant. You heard direct, indirect, induced jobs. I'll give an example of what that means. The direct, the folks that are working at the facility. The indirect are the folks that are supplying materials and services to that facility being constructed. But the induced are also those baristas at Caribou Coffee who are selling coffee to folks that are working at the facility and supplying services and materials. So it does create quite a ripple effect across the region as you think about that type of spillover effect. We've seen that similar projects across the country, data centers of this size, have made significant initial investments, like you heard, are being committed for this project, but have shown that they continue to invest and continue to grow year over year. And so, as you heard from Marie, there is the potential for that to happen, and we expect that something like that would happen with the investment here. Data centers are highly sought after across the country, and many states and locations have very aggressive programs to attract them. It's a very competitive and sought after type of investment. Your ongoing work and action today will be a catalyst for additional development across the country. We know that this will lay the groundwork and act as an anchor for additional data centers in this region. So as a regional economic development representative, I just continue to express my excitement from Greater MSP for this project. Thanks.
Thank you, Amanda. Anybody else? All right. If there's nobody else, Council, I will ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Motion from Rick, second from Todd to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Closed at 6:28.
And I'd like to make a motion to continue the tax abatement item to the April, what would it be?
April 2nd.
April 2nd meeting then? I have a comment after we, so that was a motion.
A second.
All right. Motion from Rick, second from Troy. Discussion.
Yep. So as Marie alluded, so there's two parts to the process here. So we have the public hearing tonight, and then we'll have the actual vote at our next meeting, April 2nd. This also allows for most citizens do not feel real comfortable coming here and standing in front of the mic and expressing, in front of everybody. This will allow more time as well. So please, over the next couple weeks here, citizens, as you as you feel led, feel free to contact us, and it doesn't have to be in the public setting like this. So. Yeah.
Anybody else? David?
No, I would say if there's
All right.
no other comments, then you can go to the vote.
All right. Any other discussion? No? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. I understand if you would like to leave, feel free. Thank you for coming. Otherwise, hang out. Hang around. Board committee and consultant reports. Purchase of utility carts. I mean, this is exciting stuff.
Best part, guys, come on.
Chris, listen.
Post-lunch presentation.
Yeah, right?
get to follow Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. You gotta follow somebody. All right. Evening, Madam Mayor, council members. I have two things for you this evening. The first one is Resolution 19-12. As exciting as the previous information, but very exciting to me. It would be the replacement of our 2009 Bobcat Fast Cat utility vehicle. So what Public Works staff would be recommending is replacement of that with two Mahindra Retriever 750cc gas UTVs. The Fast Cat itself is 10 years old. It was due to be replaced on CIP this year. It is showing some signs of age. Seats wearing out, needs new tires, those kind of things, standard usage. And the idea would be that I replace the single unit with two UTVs that can be used by all staff, but especially summertime by part-time staff. They're doing weed whipping, checking garbages, going to parks, right-of-way, cleaning up, those kind of things. So rather than having to try to find trucks for them or drive them to a place, drop them off, come back, pick them up kind of thing. Let's see, staff did get two different quotes for these kind of vehicles. So the one is from Abatement Express, Wood Mahindra, and the other is from Turford, and those were for Cushman Power 4x4s. Staff did look at both units, and we felt that the Mahindras were what they would prefer. They were available at state bid pricing, so $12,349 each. And so if you purchase the two with accessories plus the trade-in, that was offered for $3,500. The total would be $23,477. So that's actually on my RCA, my resolution. I had $24,017. So I don't know where I got that number from. Must have mistyped or something. But the good news is it's a little bit less than that. So if there are any questions about that, I can answer those. Otherwise, a motion with second to approve Resolution 1912 would be appreciated.
I have one question on the trade-in. Was it comparable? I didn't see the trade-in from Turfworks.
They did not offer trade-in.
They
did
didn't?
not want the Fast Cat at all.
Okay. And you're comfortable with that 3,500? Is that a,
Yeah, I looked some up online, and I found that they were getting a lot less than $3,500. I looked some up, and one was $1,800. That was similar year, similar model. Another one was, I believe, like $2,300. So
Okay.
I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, they might have been a little more abused.
and you have 30 days to react on this? And if
Yeah,
this
I'll
is,
just talk to the gentleman at M&M Express last week, so it's still.
yeah, because I'm looking at this from December.
Yeah.
So hate to approve something and have you come back and have the price go up a few $100.
That happened last year.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I can get it updated if that would be preferred.
Well, it'd be better for you if we pass this.
Mhm.
You want to make sure that
Yep.
you're good with it. Okay.
You said Al talked to them last week and they still are honoring it, so, okay.
Good.
I make a motion, we approve Resolution 1912, purchasing two machines for the street department.
I'll second.
So motion from Mike, second from Todd. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you, Chris. Moving into domestic and industrial headwaters, heating installation project. Headworks. Oh,
So before you is Resolution 1913. It's dealing with our industrial and domestic headworks heating issues. The reason I bring this before you tonight is our two industrial headworks, or our two headworks buildings are heated by makeup air units. So essentially you have a unit on the roof that will take air from the outside, heat it, push it into the building. When we looked at the design, the specification of the design, they were designed they could provide a heat rise of 82 degrees. So essentially if it's 20 below outside, they could heat it to 62 inside. What we find in actual performance is about a 52 degree heat rise. So when it's 20 below, they can heat it to about freezing inside. So we have a lot of issues, and of course, you know, it's that standard thing, you have to heat down, no, it's a certain part of the year, but when that doesn't work, we have, you know, we have water pipes in those buildings. All the machines are dealing with wet materials, so if it freezes in the building, then we have other damage to either piping that breaks, we have to replace, which costs money, or you know, if your screening unit freezes and the motor keeps running and you tear out gearboxes, your compactor auger keeps turning and it breaks in half, we have to replace all those things, and it starts adding up quickly. Let's see what else I have. This year alone, I've been starting to keep track a little closer of how much we spend on our HVAC units, and for those 2 buildings alone this year, we've spent a total of $9,321.70 on those 2 makeup air units. So that's essentially just trying to keep them running, getting HVAC people out to take a look at them when they fail. We basically, when we get into heating season, especially domestic headworks, it essentially just runs 24/7 all the time, and it barely keeps up. Part of the issue that we have with those headworks buildings is they're classified as Class 1 Division 2. So because they do have sewer coming in, there's potential we could have gas in the building. So we have to have air exchanges in the building in order to have that rating and not have a fully explosion-proof environment. So some people might say, well, just turn the exhaust fan off, you'll have more heat in the building. Well, we can't do that. That would change the entire building, and then we'd have to replace all the equipment inside the building, which would be much more costly. So all that being said, I did budget in the CIP this year. I've had $70,000 in domestic CIP for domestic headworks building, and I had $46,000 in the industrial CIP for the industrial building, so a total of $106,000. Staff did get bids. We've got 3 bids for the installation of the heating equipment, so we looked at infrared heating systems is what we think would work the best. We did look at some like electric cleaning units. They were less money up front, but their failure rate, especially in the environment they'd be in, was anywhere from 5 to 8 years you'd have to replace those. We've had units like this at the wastewater facility itself that have been running for over 20 years. So we felt like this would be our best choice for longevity and product performance as well. So 3 quotes for the heating installation, 2 quotes for the electrical work. The total altogether came in at $81,557.70, and that would be for Egan to do the installation of the equipment, and for Hubbard Electric to do the electrical work associated with that. If there are any questions about that, I can answer those, or a motion and a second to approve.
This is an addition to the makeup system.
The makeup air units would still be in place. They would still be essentially act as a backup, which is essentially what a makeup air unit should be.
Right.
It should be a backup to a main heating source. So these would be the main heat source for the building. I don't know for sure if we'll save gas, but my hope would be that if these are running, they'll be more efficient, and we won't be running that makeup air burner 24/7, you know, January, February.
Well, I would think it would still be running because it's got to warm the air some, I would think.
And the makeup air is always, it's going to run anyway because it is making up the air that the odor control unit, or odorous air units are pulling out of the building. So they're pushing air in while we pull air out. So that's part of the whole process too.
So what kind of condition are they in at this point?
Makeup air units?
Yeah,
They're getting tired.
because if something happens with them, you're going to have to replace them.
Yeah, we're talking about looking at all of our, we have a Mammoth unit on the press building, we have makeup airs on RAS buildings and the 2 headworks buildings and on the filter building, so.
I guess what I'm getting at is there CIP money for that part of it specifically, or don't you know?
Not specifically yet. I'm working on putting those in there specifically. We've had.
Because you know it's going to break down tomorrow.
Probably.
See, coming up to April though.
So what we've had in the past is each building has, like we've had domestic RAS HVAC. and then we've had a number in place. So that's kind of a placeholder for the idea of replacing, in our domestic gas building, we have a makeup air unit on top, we have a bar unit and a separate mechanical room, so you've got a couple heat sources. So if one goes down, the other one can kind of make up, and that did happen this winter too, so. And then the other unit went down too, so that building was without heat for about a week. But, yeah, it's a significant piece of what we have at the wastewater facility. Every building needs to be heated, and so we're trying to put the specific pieces on the CIP that need to be there rather than just having kind of general HVAC slot. Yep. It's a little, yeah, it does, you look at that, and yeah, it's a significant thing, and they're starting to age.
Yeah.
You know, domestic side's '08, so they're 10 years old, so they're outside on the roof all the time. So, yeah, we're seeing some deterioration, but.
But I do realize you need these, so I guess I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 1913. Replacement, installing some heating units in buildings, is it again?
Domestic and industrial headworks.
Yeah, domestic and industrial headworks buildings.
I'll second it.
Motion from Mike, second from Todd. Any other discussion?
You have the bids at $81,557.70. Is there any reason it would go over that amount? Are there any incidentals?
I don't see anything, I don't see any reason why I would go over that. I mean, the total budget in there was 106,000, so I'm not foreseeing anything right now. There's a couple of core drilling that we have to do, but we're just gonna do that out of operations because it was maybe $1,000 or something, so, yeah.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Thank you, Mr. Lisson.
Thank you very much.
Administrator and staff reports. Support for current legislation. Mr. Brzezinski.
Madam Mayor, Mr. Council, thank you. Actually have 4 items that kind of present to the city council together, but I'll need separate motions to move it forward. So I'll just kind of plow through this, and then feel free to ask questions as we go, and then we'll take action at the end. So item number 1 is resolution 1907. That's a letter in support of the infrastructure improvements to our business park. Something we've talked a lot about, and if you have questions, again, I can certainly try to answer those. So, resolution 1908 is in support of House File 1919, and that's the energy transition grants legislation. Remember, there's a renewable development account that we would like to be able to tap into for our transition communities, of which we are one, transitioning away from a coal-based economy. So resolution 1909 is in reference to House File 424, and actually the last two kind of go together, but basically, in the event that the Department of Revenue undervalues a property, overvalues a property, but the owner challenges it and they reduce the value. Basically, that bill would cause the Department of Revenue, the state of Minnesota, to pay that difference. Basically, it wouldn't be on the city if we have another event like we did last year with Excel Energy negotiating a lower value on their properties. And then the last item is Resolution 1910, dealing with House File 1856. Kind of deals with the same thing, only it obligates the Department of Revenue to get those values determined sooner than they have been. If you'll remember back to September 27th, I think we were in a meeting with Excel Energy. Remember, the utility is who notified us of the valuation change. This will obligate the Department of Revenue to get those values done, but it also has a trigger in there that we would be notified by the Department of Revenue. So it kind of smooths a couple of things out, helps us on our budgeting If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to try to answer them.
Because we had set our
We set our preliminary levy. I
Yeah.
think it was about the
before that,
4th or 5th of September. The 27th of September, we're sitting there, now we've got an 8% deficit in our budget.
before we even get started.
So we're hoping to be able to solve that through legislation. And in the event that there is another mistake, the state will pay back the difference.
So do you want one for all of them or one for each?
One for each would be.
So we're starting at 1907, right?
Yep.
I make a motion, we approve resolution 1907, in support of Minnesota House File 1452 and Senate File 1495.
Motion from Mike, second from Rick. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yeah, I guess I can just go down the list here. And let's see here, we go to 1908. I make a motion, we to approve resolution 1908, which is
1919 or 1880? Or 1888, sorry.
1919, yep, 1888.
House File, it's House File 1919, and there we go, there it is.
Senate file, 1888.
1888.
I'll second that one as well.
All right, motion from Mike, second from Rick. Any discussion on those? None? All in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
And the next one is resolution.
Paper's quicker than the technology
Yeah.
tonight there,
Yeah,
Mike.
I'm trying to do it too fast, it doesn't want to bring it up. Okay. Somebody else do it.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 1909, which is offering support for House File 1424 and Senate File 1708.
I'll second.
Motion from Rick, second from Todd. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I'll make a final motion here to approve Resolution 1910, which is to offer support for House File 1856 and Senate File 1901.
I'll second.
Motion from Rick, second from Todd. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
As soon as you started, then I got them all.
Pressure was off.
Cut down some more trees and make some more.
Yeah, if I try to move it too fast, it doesn't catch up.
All right, Mr. Brzezinski. Purchase option agreement.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Council. The next item that I have for the City Council to consider is an option to purchase real estate. As you know, we have been searching for water for some time. We've got a deficit when it comes to our water needs. So we have located two additional parcels. I mean, there's another property that we've been also taking a look at and doing some pumping on. These two parcels are separate from those. They are basically at the intersection of County Road 11 and help me out, 4?
Probably 11 and 24.
724, thank you. They're two separate parcels. I think one's 60 or so acres, one's 72 or 3 or something like that. But the way this would work is we have been in contact with the property owner. We have agreed to the option to purchase, but remember what we also put in there is contingent upon meeting certain criteria when it comes to pumping water. So this gives us the right to go onto that property, the right and the permission from the property owner to go onto the properties, do our pumping, make a decision on which one or both that we would like to purchase, if any. There is a monetary monetary dollar figure associated with each one. What we have negotiated, $1,500 for each parcel, secures us the right to go and do our pumping. Can certainly try to answer questions if you have any. Again, this is over and above the other properties that we've been taking a look at. I think the last thing that I would mention to the city council is when we did our aquifer study last year, these two properties are kind of right in the bullseye. So we're really hoping that these are going to produce some big water for us. So with that, I'll turn it to the city council for any questions, and I'll try to answer those if there are any.
Well, I have a question on the piping. That's going to be a little bit further than we were looking at before, and that's going to create some costs there.
We are doing the analysis on that.
Okay.
It will be further. I think the closer of these two properties, I think, is about 8,000 feet.
Okay.
But remember, the price per acre on this property is a lot lower.
Yeah.
Much, much lower.
Any problems with right-of-ways going through?
Likely not. That's a county road. We'd probably partner with the county on locating our utilities within the right of way.
Okay.
It's good to have options, as many options as possible. I think it'll help us in the end. I think this is a good way to go.
Does that mean you'll make a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion. Resolution, let's see here, I lost it again now.
11.
Okay, what is it?
Laptop was made.
No, I had it, and then I started looking through the documents, and then I go, let's see, what is it here?
1911.
Resolution 1911, purchase agreement for drilling for water for the city.
Second it.
Motion from Mike, second from Troy. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Consent agenda.
Mayor, City Council, thank you. Please take note, we have a revised consent agenda this evening. Item number 1 is a hiring and termination report from our administration department. Item number 2 is a mutual aid agreement with Big Lake Police Department. Item number 3 is Safe Assure contract renewal. Safe Assured provides us with our safety training, our OSHA required safety training. Item number 4, job description title change. I think that was mentioned earlier in the meeting. Police Sergeant to Police Lieutenant. Item number 5 from our Community Development Department, Business Attraction Letter. Item number 6 is our 2019-2020 Property Casualty Insurance Renewal. Item number 7 is Resolution 1914, accepting donations. Please bear with me.
Would you like to use my copy?
I do not have my donation.
Your donation is the Eddy Foundation for $4,000 to the police department.
Any others?
Nope, that's it.
Super, thank you. Item number 8, and this is an addition, a hiring and termination report from Pebble Creek Golf Club. And then item number 9 is a Pebble Creek asset disposal form. So with that, if you have any questions, I can certainly try to answer those. Otherwise, a motion to approve the consent agenda would be appreciated.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Mike. Any other discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Payment of the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Motion from Rick, second from Todd. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Does council have anything else for the betterment of Becker? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion we adjourn.
Second.
Motion from Rick, second from Todd to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adjourned at 6:55.